Hello guys, welcome back. So I'm going to continue from where I stopped in the last video with respect to Google Sheets, and today I'm going to be explaining basic formulas and functions in Google Sheets. I'm going to talk about how to use autofilling in Google Sheets as well. I'm also going to talk on cell formatting and cell formatting in Google Sheets. So if you haven't seen the first video, kindly check my channel and you see the introduction part of the video. That's the first video in the Google Sheets playlist. So without wasting much time, I would go to my screen and then continue from there. So in the last video, I talked about how to delete cells and bunch of rows and columns, how to delete it. Here I'm just going to talk about how to delete, how to format rather, how to format your columns, your rows. By now you should understand that each individual cells has like a reference. This is what we call the reference. So first thing is let's format this sheets. And what formatting means is that you want to make it look a lot better. You want to add colors, you want to change the font, and you probably want to make the header bold. So I'm just going to follow. There's no specific way to format a sheet. Just go with your intuition and design it the way you want. And particularly when you're trying to develop, when you're trying to create a report for probably an organization that has a specific custom color, I would advise that you go with the organization custom color. Otherwise, you can just format it any way you want. So first thing is, let's increase the header here. Let's make sure it's bold. So whenever I want to apply the same functions to multiple columns, the best thing is to just highlight everything so that whatever it is I'm doing affects all of the columns. As you can see, I'm italicizing, I'm making it bold and all of that. I'm increasing the text size. So this is how you can format your cells. You can change the font type or style. You can change it to whatever you want, and everything, the effect goes across board. Let me zoom in so that you can see all of the effects. Yeah, so like I said, you need to highlight, and then this is for the header. If you want to highlight everything, so you can click on the cells like on this particular column like this, and then drag it down so you'll be able to highlight everything, and whatever functionalities you carried out, it will affect all of the cells in your sheet. So but for this case, I'm going to just take it back from the beginning. So this is just so basically I'm going to highlight only the header, make it bold, increase the size a little bit, and I want to add like a background color so that it is different from the body or the rest of the report. So I'm going to click on this, which is called fill color, and I'm going to add whatever color you want to add. This is gold. This is it. So after that, what else can we do? We can make it a little larger. We can increase this. Still on formatting, we want to change the font type of all the rest of the report. So assuming we don't want the font type to be Calibri that we have right now, I want to change the font type. So one way to do that, especially when you're dealing with only the rows now, not the rest of the rows, you can click on it right here and drag. So that's one way to highlight. Then you can apply whatever it is. Let's say we want to reduce this text to 11, excuse me, and we want to change this to Arial. So although I don't see any reason why we should have different font type from the header. So anything that makes us change this, we definitely want to change this as well. So definitely want to change the header to as Arial. So this is what it looks like, and this is part of what cell formatting. There are other things that you can do during formatting. So I would say go to this formats tab and look at all of the things that you can do. So another thing that we can do, we've touched on font size. We've not touched on wrapping. So wrapping is just you right now you can see that the product name. There is more, like right now if I click on it, you see that we don't see all of the product name, and I have to like increase the cells, increase the column weight to be able to see everything. But if you look at this page, you can see everything that is inside that cell. Bush Somerset collection book. Okay, so if you want to see everything all at once, you want to make sure that no matter the width of your column, you want to be able to see all of the product name all at once. What you can do is wrap the text. So, and this is usually very handy, and it makes your work clean. So just click on this and go to format, wrapping, and then wrap. So now that I've wrapped the cell, you can see everything is coming in place. The height of the cells has increased a little bit so that I can accommodate, or so that I can display all of my text. But this might not be a very good method, or a very good, it might not give you a good UI, especially if you have a long text. So be careful when you're using that. So let's just increase it a little bit, so we have just 2 line maximum, I guess. So we can make it 2 line. Yeah, sounds nice. So that's another way to format your cell. The whole thing is coming together right now. So let's look at other functions. There's alignment, there's text. You can play around with this. And another thing that I feel is important and interesting is conditional formatting. This is really handy because it gives your report, even when you want to use it in a dashboard, it gives it a very good look, and it makes it more intuitive. So conditional formatting is basically you are applying a kind of format based on a specific condition. For example, I would like to see all of my sales. I would like to see all of my sales that is greater than 200. So any sales that is greater than 200, I would like it to show green, so that immediately I look at the report, I'm able to see, okay, this is I'm hitting my target, I'm hitting my sales KPI target. And whenever it is below 200, it means we are running at a loss, or we are not hitting our target. So that's one way to use conditional formatting, and it's a very simple thing to customize. Just again, make sure you're clicking on all of the cells. You can highlight it downward, and sometimes you don't need to do this because you may have a long report. So all you need to do is just click on one of the cell, go to format, and then go to conditional formatting. So when you go to conditional formatting, you see F2. It says, and pay attention to this. I'm going to move this to this side so that you can see it properly. So pay attention to this. It's very important. You see there's a single color function, there's a color scale, and then there is what apply to range. So right now we are only applying this conditional formatting to F2 because we only clicked on F2. So what you need to do is click on select data range, because what it means is what you want to specify the cells and the range that you want this conditional formatting to be applied to. So click on this, and then right now it says select range. So this is where cell referencing is actually very important, and that is why I mentioned that every cell has like a number and an alphabet stating exactly its position. So for this case, I'm going to do it the manual way so that you understand. So I'm going to select add another range. So add a single range rather. So we want to add just a single range, and then I'll have to click on this. The moment I click on this, you see that the cell reference is changing, but we're not applying it one after the other. We need to apply it to all of the range. And when it is a range, it means what it has a multiple cell. That is, we have what from F2 to F5, from F2 to F6, and all of that. So when I highlight all of this downward, what do I get? I get what? The exact number. So from F2 to F61. So where this is interesting is that I don't need to, since I know that it's from F2 to F61, I don't need to keep coming back here and dragging. So you don't need to drag, because when you have like a long list, or you have like a long report with thousands of rows, dragging becomes really frustrating. And I think that's one thing that Google Sheet has really done well compared to Excel, because Excel, you need to drag, you need to make use of some shifts. I might be wrong, but I know that I've actually seen Google Sheet make this kind of cell referencing and cell editing much easier compared to Excel. So right now I can decide to edit. I can say F2 column F4. So automatically it is only going to affect F2 to F4. So you can put it in practice, but that's exactly what will happen. So in this case, let's say for example, we know that we're going to this list is going to continue to grow, and we don't want to come here and keep editing it over and over. So I can just put in F2 to F500, because that way I know that the formatting would account for future data. So click on OK, and right now you see that everything is formatted. We haven't specified the condition yet, so this color is what is affecting everything. So you see, the moment I change it, it's conditionally formatting everything here. So because we have not really accounted for, we have not really specified our condition. So you see here we have format choose. Under format choose we have is empty, is not empty. So we have format choose. Under format choose we have is empty, is not empty, and all of those things. But for this condition, we want to highlight all our cells green when we hit our target. So we'll go to greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and all of that. So this is these functions or this formatting works with text data, and we're not dealing with text data right now. We have like the number data. We also have dates, or we are focusing on the number data. So all you need to do is just specify greater than or equals to, less than or equals to. For this case, it's going to be greater than or equal to 200. So it means what all of the cells, all numbers that are greater than or equals to 200 will be formatted. So that's basically what it means. So I can come here and click on green. So it means what all of these are going to be green. It means what we are hitting our target with this. So again, you can add multiple conditions. So you can add multiple conditions, still the same format. You can increase it to 100 and say less than 200. So and this can be called red. So make sure you format it, and then you have this. So this way you have successfully formatted your cell, and everything, any number that is below 200 would be red. And the essence of actually adding more the essence of editing the cell reference to account for future data is whenever a new data is imputed here, assuming we have new records, and then we made about 60 in sales, it automatically formats. It highlights, it shows red. If we make 250, it shows green. And that's how sales formatting works.